I'm sure all of you have gone a few hours without eating. You probably skipped a meal at some point, whether because of money, time, or simply because you couldn't be bothered. In any case, know that you will never come close to a certain Prahlad Jani, a Hindu man who claimed he did not eat anything for more than 70 years and supposedly stayed perfectly healthy. If that is true, it is an exceptional case. People usually say a human can survive 1 to 2 months without eating, depending on the person. But what do you think? Are those numbers accurate? To answer this question, we are calling on our favorite test subject. Did you eat well, buddy? Need anything else? A little dessert? Some ice cream?
No.
You sure? Alright then. I was not about to make him start this experiment on an empty stomach. Gustave is now about to go 2 months without eating a single thing, although he will still get water. No exception when it comes to food. Not a sandwich, not a peanut, not even a seed to nibble on, which gives us a chance to see how his body reacts and adapts, and to find out whether our poor test subject will starve to death before the experiment ends. Is that really the only possible outcome? Could he make it through without long-term damage? Or on the contrary, could he develop psychological issues or illnesses if he does survive? Our test subject looks ready anyway. Time to answer our big question of the day. 2 months without eating. What's it like? Looks like that big meal really tired him off. 6 hours have passed since our beloved test subject's rather generous dinner. For now, everything is fine. Nothing unusual. To be honest, every time he sleeps, you also go 6 to 8 hours without eating, so you already know more or less what this feels like. Let's enjoy this calm before the storm and take a quick look at what is happening inside him. The body is currently using what was eaten during the last meal to find the energy it needs to function. And to do that, it mainly uses glucose and glycogen, which come from carbohydrates, meaning slow sugars and fast sugars. Believe me, it takes a lot to keep the machine running. And that machine is the brain, which uses more energy than anything else in the human body. Normally, after about 6 hours, glucose levels start to drop and you begin to feel hungry again. I am talking about actual hunger, not just wanting something to eat. And obviously, I say 6 hours, but it depends on how much you usually eat and how active you are. It is just an average. Look at our test subject. When he wakes up, he feels a little emptiness in his stomach, just like you in the morning, when your stomach is empty and everything has been digested. This feeling, along with the gurgling, is a small alarm telling you that you need to refuel. But for our friend here, that is not happening anytime soon. The whole day has gone by without you taking a single bite of food. So, how are you feeling? Oh yes, you are very tired. That is normal. And you sound like you're in a pretty bad mood too, so I'll leave you alone. 24 hours is roughly the time it takes for the body to use up all of its glycogen stores. It is reaching the end of the energy that is easy for it to produce. But hold on, no need to panic. We are only talking about the energy that comes directly from recent meals, and the body still has plenty of other resources. Remember, humans definitely did not eat every day back in the Cro-Magnon era. Modern society has conditioned us to overconsume, at least in the Western world. Yep, we generally eat more calories than we really need. It is no coincidence that obesity rates have nearly tripled since 1975. The good news is that the human body is more than capable of adapting to new eating conditions. Although, if the brain starts running low on glucose, it focuses on essential activity and pushes less important things aside, like managing emotions and anger, so it will let itself get a bit depressed. Right, buddy? After 3 days without food, the real effects start to kick in. You have already begun to lose weight fast, you may even be down a couple of pounds. Your vitamin and mineral stores are also starting to drop, but not yet enough to panic about. If we look at our test subject, we can see he is dealing with nausea, headaches, and even a few cramps. Why does all that happen? Simply because your metabolism has entered what is known as ketosis. Since no food is coming in, the body has to find a way to make glucose anyway. So what does it do? It starts pulling energy from your fat reserves and your muscles. From there, it produces ketone bodies from fat, and those become its main fuel source. If our test subject is hurting, it is because his entire system is switching to a different mode of operation. It shakes things up a bit, so he needs time to adapt. It will pass. This is just the beginning of a new phase. Once this phase settles in, he will not be worried about hunger anymore. Which makes sense, since his body is being fueled differently for now. You could even say he feels lighter, calmer, and less tired. Look at him, he does not seem that bad off. And if there is no food, there is also no digestion. And digestion is a big part of why you feel tired day to day. This is why you feel sleepy after a huge meal. So it makes perfect sense he is feeling more energetic. Some people even say a 3-day fast resets the immune system by giving the body time to rest and refresh its cells. But evidence is still limited, so let's not draw conclusions too quickly. 10 days without eating anything. Now it is getting long and it is getting very hard. Your body is still managing by pulling energy from fat, but also from your muscles, which means you have lost a lot of muscle mass. Yep, the big muscles are gone, Gustave. Your body needs protein, and it takes it wherever it can still find some. The problem is, losing both fat and muscle only makes the weight loss worse and faster. You are getting weaker and you feel more and more drained. On top of that, this is when major vitamin and mineral deficiencies begin. You can also develop liver problems. In short, this is the point where fasting starts doing real damage and putting you in danger. You also feel colder than usual, your breathing slows down, your heart beats a little less than before. Basically, you are running low on power. You also start losing your grip a little, like you are drifting from outside of time, like your brain is pulling you away from your emotions. The brain can run on energy from protein and fat, but it is not the fuel it prefers. What it really wants is sugar, glucose. With all these changes, it becomes slower and less efficient. So yes, your mood crashes, your emotions get messy, and mentally, it becomes very tough. It has been a full month since you last ate anything. That is long, really long. At this point, you are basically skin and bones. If we look at our test subject who was in great shape to begin with, he has wasted away. Look at him, he is so weak, poor guy. Earlier, we wondered if severe undernourishment could cause psychological effects. The answer is yes. When lack of food leads to about an 18% drop in your body mass, you start seeing psychological damage, along with clear signs of advanced starvation. Now imagine that happening to someone who did not have as much fat and muscle stores as he did. You would think they were close to the end. After a month, the body enters the final stage of starvation. It tries desperately to keep your brain awake so you can react if you happen to find food. So it is critical to stay somewhat alert and keep whatever strength you can. To keep producing energy, your metabolism shifts into another stage known as autophagy. And brace yourself, because the concept is a little wild. Basically, your body starts eating itself from the inside. It's a form of self-cannibalism in a way. Since fat and muscle reserves are dangerously low, your body starts pulling energy from unused cells and tissues. In some cases, this can be useful, since it may help destroy cancer cells. Some studies in animals, including work by Walter Longo, an American biologist, suggest that helping can help the body tolerate chemotherapy. Some cancer patients even undergo medically supervised fasting in specialized clinics. The problem is, if it lasts too long, the process can begin affecting your organs and weaken you in extremely dangerous ways. Oh, and another detail, it has been weeks since you last pooped. But we already talked about that in a previous video. Nearly 2 months with no food. To make it this far, you needed to start the experiment with solid reserves. At this stage, eating is your entire obsession. Your brain loops non-stop on the idea of food. You are fully depressed. Thinking clearly is almost impossible, and your primal survival instincts have taken over. You live only for the hope of finding something to eat, some source of energy, because without that, you will die. You have reached such an extreme level of undernourishment that even a simple glass of water feels like you ate something, as if you were already full. And even if you found food now, your body would not be ready for it right away. So no, do not dream of an all-you-can-eat buffet just yet. you would actually need to start eating again in tiny amounts to let your system relearn how to digest. Step by step, you could regain strength and eventually put weight back on. Our poor test subject was very close to dying. If his organs had continued to deteriorate, one of them would eventually have failed. For example, his heart could have become too weak and he might have suffered a fatal heart attack. What saved him was that he had plenty of reserves at the start. Someone thinner or more fragile would never have lasted this long. 2 months without eating. You can see it is not exactly cheerful, and it is pretty much the limit of what a healthy human body can survive. And keep in mind, we assume you ate absolutely nothing. No supplements, no broth, nothing at all. Under different conditions, things can turn out differently. Take the case of Angus Barbieri, a 27-year-old Scotsman in 1967. He lost 124 kilos over the course of 382 days by completely stopping food intake. He chose to stop eating under strict medical supervision, and he weighed 207 kilos before starting. Doctors supplied all the vitamins and minerals he needed so his body would not collapse, and they monitored him regularly. He had so much stored energy that his body could draw from it for a very, very long time without suffering too much. Incredible, right?